Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. Of course, my cat decided he wanted to jump into his tunnel at that exact moment. Today is going to be another monthly reset. This is going to be resetting for March. Yes. Ooh, March. And for some context, the boys are playing, so this may be loud. So for some context, I was supposed to post a video last week about moving into my new apartment, the first week living in my new apartment. But my mental headspace, not good, and I chickened out. I'm trying to be really heartfelt here, Vincent, and you're interrupting. My headspace just was all out of whack, and I felt uncomfortable posting. So I have not posted for like 3 weeks in a row, but this video is going to be posted. It will. Well, today is did you see my logo when I did that? No, okay. Sorry, I'm wearing my work shirt because I'm leaving for work in a bit. But as much as today is going to be like a physical space resetting and like working on journals and things like that, I also think I need to figure out some sort of mental reset. But I've been working at my new job for, I think this might be my 4th week, coming into my 4th week. And like the job itself is really great. I'm still doing a lot of training. The whole social aspect, I'm very bad at making friends. And I'm living in a new place. I've never lived here before. I've never visited here before. And I just thought I was doing okay. And then like something really small happened. And I'm like, oh, they hate me. It's awful. No. And it's not that serious. It's not that deep, but my brain thinks it is. So I've been like, every time I get home from work at around 6-ish, it's about a 45-minute drive home for me, depending on traffic. I get home at like 6, and then I like make dinner, and then I go lay in bed because I'm sad. And then I'm asleep at like 8:30. So I just want to like fix that, you know? So physical reset and a mental reset this month. I don't have a ton of plans. Obviously working on my journals, which you saw doing last month's reset. I need to like clean my space, right? New month. Probably gonna do that tomorrow because I work today. Maybe give you guys a tour of my apartment. I don't know, you haven't seen it yet because I decided to scrap the moving in video. Some reading updates perhaps, which of course will go along with journaling because my reading journal. And then figure out whatever the heck I need to do for a mental reset. And also another thing, I've been meal planning, so I know what I need to get when I go to the grocery store because this job doesn't pay a whole lot, so I'm like becoming a budgeting queen, okay? But on top of meal prepping, which I've already done for the next few weeks, so we don't really need to do that together, but maybe I'll go over it if anyone is interested. I want to plan at least one outing every week, whether it be like going to a bookstore or something, just one thing to get me out of my apartment that is not work. So anyways, those are the plans. There was my little rant about being sad. You may hear more about it, especially if I come home tonight from work. I'm so sad. But with that being said, let us get on to the video. But I'll be getting on to work. Though I don't really work for an hour, so I might actually, let me rebunk everything. Is rebunk the right word? Retract everything I just said? Sorry, that was loud. This is my bullet journal. She is a traveler's size Archer and Olive notebook. Vincent is playing with the straps of my pants. I have a pair of shorts in case I need to change into them for work. And I low-key fell off of it as soon as I moved into my apartment, but I'm getting back into it. I started some of it. So this is my March page. This is how I do the calendar layout. And the size. And then I've decided I'm gonna do like a monthly page. where I like marked on things that I need to clean like every week and things like that now that I have a space to myself. That, and then I need to do my weekly pages, which you've seen in the previous monthly, but they look like this. Normally they're actually filled out, but this one was not. But I might work on that this morning because I have an hour. So there we go. Now let's move on to the rest of the video. Hi guys, it's clearly the next day, which I've kind of already stated in the video, but I am on the floor because my cat has taken over my desk chair, so I'm on the floor. There's my other cat, and I'm working on my bullet journal. So I thought I'd show you what I have done. I pretty much have most of my stuff done. So this is March. I really need to get a printer because I want to do like a collage-y thing here, but I currently don't have a printer. And they're expensive, so I'm like trying to wait. But this is what the start of month page looks like. We're gonna come back to this page and add some stuff. And then my next page, I just want to see how it goes. So I have this monthly, so it's like things like do laundry, sweep the floor, you know, clean the toilet, things so I can mark when I do them each week. And then I have this open space here that I'm not quite sure what I want to use for. Like I know I'm gonna come up with a use, but I just kind of want to see how I need it. And this is just a brain dump page, which I think I will use because I want to figure out like a morning routine and a night routine. So I might kind of jot stuff there. And then this is week 1. It looks very boring because I have not added anything. Before my weekly spreads were two things, but I've migrated them down to 2 or 1 page, sorry, instead of the full spread, half a spread. So I have my priorities, my tasks, which are kind of similar thing as priorities. They're just like not the priority. And then my habits, which I've left extra space at the bottom, but my habits I have are run, drink water. Oh, I meant to say drink a bottle of water because I don't want to count 1 sip of water as. Really, I want it to be 2 bottles of water, but I've been really bad about it, so I figured for this month I'll drink a bottle of water and then maybe move it to 2 bottles next month. Wear my retainers because I'm so bad about wearing my retainers. A no spend day, so not spending money. It's not like I spend money every day, but living on this very tiny income, I need to be conscientious of when I'm spending money. And the last one is leave the apartment because I need to leave my apartment. And then I have space at the bottom for either if I come up with new habits, or sometimes I like to track when I'm doing hobbies. So like if I'm knitting, I can track them. But this is just set up for each day of the week, and then I just put a dot when I do it. But I wanted to take us back to this calendar page that you can barely see. And I wanted to plan out my outings. Like I said earlier in the video, I want to leave the apartment at least once a week for something that is not work, and that's not like go get groceries, you know, like I want to do something. So I thought in pencil, I have it separated out into weeks. As you can see, there's like a gap. So above each week, I figured I would write like what I want in pencil, what I want to do that week, and then I'll like schedule it actually in where it needs to go. So this first week, I already know what I'm doing. I don't think I talked to you about this already, but I called a wildlife rescue about volunteering there. So I am set up to like go tour the facility and kind of have like a little interview this week. So that's what I'm gonna count as my outing for this week, is doing the wildlife rescue volunteer. So, and then I have scheduled, I just can't remember I know it's on Wednesday, but I can't remember the day of the week that the Wednesday is. So, and then while I'm there, I have to go into the city for that, and I have to do a return at Target, and there's no Target where I am. I'd have to go in the city, so I'm probably also gonna go to Target. So that's my first week. My second week, I'm going to hope that it's really nice out, and I'm gonna try to go to a park. I've heard there's a really nice park in the city. I cannot remember what it's called, but I'll figure something out. And then I do want to go to a local indie bookstore. Again, I'm trying not to spend money, so that's why I'm trying to put it further down my list. But I want to go to the local indie bookstore, so we're gonna put that on there. I don't know if I should count something that's like if I go after work, like it's still on a work day, but it's not work related, because there is this really nice trail by where I work, but I work 45 minutes away, so I wouldn't really want to drive there just to go on the trail. Maybe like I want to try the trail while I'm already there, but I think I'm gonna count that. So the next week is going to be trail walk by work. Okay, what else do I want to do? My cat is so cute. Look at how peaceful he is. I love him. Can my next week's task be go get another cat? I want so many cats. It's the last week of the month. It's only 3 days in March, and then the rest is April. What do I want to do? Can I like see if there's like a flower shop? Because like the start of April is like, it's very springy. Like what's a very spring task to do? I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of, like I do want to go visit a local yarn store, but again, I'm trying to think of ideas that I don't really have to spend money to do. I could go spend a day trip at Hilton Head, but that's very dependent on weather, so. What do I want to do, Wendell? He says, don't talk to me, I'm sleeping. I don't know, we'll leave that because half that week is in April, so maybe that's an April issue. But my things are volunteer, go to the park, go to a local indie bookstore, and then walk on that trail by work. So I'd call that successful enough. And while I'm here and we're talking about journaling, we'll bring in my trusty dusty reading journal. I'm not gonna work on it right now because I really need to sit at my desk and like get some stuff done, but I thought I'd go over like what needs to be done on it. One, I still need to finish this map, but that's a long time coming. Need to update these pages, so just color in books I've read and color in for every day that I've read. Same thing, update books I've read. I don't think I have any series to update on my series tracker. Maybe I have a physical TBR book I read every time. So these are all the books I own prior to the start of the year. I color them in when I read them. I did buy a new book this month. I will show it to you when I'm doing my figuring out my TBR for the month, but it's Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett, because I love Heather Fawcett's Emily Wilde series, so pick that up. I do need to work on new releases. I only put January and February in, so I'd like to try and set up March and April's, maybe May's new releases, or anticipated releases. I definitely need to work on my wishlist pages. I have like screenshots of books that I would like, so I need to update them and put them on my wishlist pages. Book club, I do need to update pictures and stuff for this, but again, I don't have a printer, so I need to wait for a printer to do a lot of this stuff. I do need to work on my reading blanket, but that's a separate video, so. Nothing on my author backlist. I'm debating changing this book. I have Nightshade and Oak on here, and I don't really know if I feel any draw to read it this year. So I might put something I'm more excited about, but this is my 26 and 26 page. I do need to update my A to Z in Bingo. I do this at the end of every month. I don't do it as I'm going, just to like assess and give every book like their best spot, you know. This is a new spread. I had 2 pages reserved for a reading challenge that I was trying to design, and I just never got to it. So I turned this one into my classics and nonfiction page, and I need to do something with this one. But basically, every month this year, I want to read either a classic or a nonfiction. So I've got 12 squares, and I'm going to put a little picture of the cover and write about it a tiny little bit. So I want to make this page more exciting, but I think it'll just, once I have all the covers in and stuff, I don't think it'll look too bad. Because this is just the same layout as my, where's that page? Guys, hold on, sorry. It's exactly the same layout as my anticipated releases page, but this one's got like a fun background, and this one's kind of boring, but I obviously need to update my statistics pages. Not done with the quarter yet, so nothing on this page. I don't think I have any favorite books yet, but and no rereads yet, so this page is empty. No new favorite quotes. I just update these as I read them, so. And then I do need to do my spring TBR, so I'm gonna do the background. I also need to fix the background on winter and just add a couple more little snowflakes around. It's kind of boring. So I want to do the background for spring and then cut out these like cardstock backs for the pictures. But again, I don't have a printer, so I can't print out the covers. And then I need to set up my March start of month pages, which will look just like this one. So I'll do a stamp with a flower, the month, and then my TBR, the books I bought, the calendar, and then a statistics page. I need to come back and do this. I think I was going to journal a little bit. I also just need to finish my book reviews for February. So that's everything that needs to happen there. But I'm gonna go, I don't know, do something. Today's really nice out, and I do have a little patio in my apartment. It faces the parking lot, but it also faces the dog park. So I might sit out there and like knit or just read or something today, just to get outside. Even if it's not leaving my apartment, it's still outside. But I have rambled long enough at you, and Wendell probably wants me to shut up so he can go to sleep. So I'm gonna do that. Hello, coming to give you a little updates on my resetting stuff. I did go outside, I'm sure you saw, and I worked on a little bit of my reading journal. I also have done some knitting. I'm working on making a little baby blanket. I have no babies to give it to. I just felt the urge for a baby blanket, so I've never knit one. I've crocheted baby blankets before, so. And I'm just using leftover yarn for my reading blanket because this is my color for January and all my January squares are done. So I'm hoping this is one skein is enough to finish the blanket, but we'll see. And then you saw me do my reading journal, and I did a little bit, I did a review, and I started setting up for March. I still have to cut out the letters that say March and then do my little stamp. Unclear if I'm gonna get to the stamp in this video just because it's watercolor and it takes a little bit of time for me to do. But what I mostly was coming to update you on was, while I was sitting outside, I was listening to My Life with Chimpanzees by Jane Goodall. It's the audiobook I've been listening to. I finished it. It was so good. Guys, it was so good. It's a short audiobook. I think it's like 4 hours long. I think the book, like the physical book, is like a kid's book, so I don't know if I'll get a physical copy. If I can find one that like looks like it's catered to adults, like the cover, then maybe I'll get it. But it was really good, and I don't rate like nonfiction, but if I did, that would be an easy 5-star. It was so good. It was so fascinating. There was a part where Jane Goodall, so she's talking about how she's given permission to go study these chimps in the wild, but they're like, but we can't let a solo female go by herself, so you need to pick a chaperone. And she goes, okay, my mom's coming with me. And I was like, that's so iconic. Her and her mom just went to go study chimpanzees, and while she's out studying the chimpanzee, her mom's like curing these illnesses. Like, they're so cool. They are so cool. So it was really a great time. It was really fascinating, and I am constantly in college. I had the chance to go see Jane Goodall talk. I didn't have the chance. I had the opportunity to, but I was too scared to go alone, so I didn't. And now she's dead. R.I.P. Jane, I love you. But I will feel so much regret over that for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be so honest with you. But yeah, so I've done most of my resetting stuff that I'm gonna do today, but I'm actually, part of my reset was like a mental. So I'm gonna do a little bit of self-care tonight. I'm gonna do like a full shower. What do you call them? What do people call the full shower? The fancy name for them? An everything shower? Yes, I'm gonna do an everything shower. I might paint my fingernails. Of course, it'll chip off come tomorrow, but and then a face mask. And I've got teeth whitening strips. So that's my plan for tonight. I might do a little bit more work on my reading journal, but I do have to update the Jane Goodall review, so I guess I do have to work on my reading journal. But that's really it. And then, I don't know. I don't really know what else I'd have to film for this. Obviously, updates of, my TBR for the month and the book's bought. Let's go relocate and we can film that right now. Okay, hello, welcome to Sarah 30 seconds later. Let's figure out my TBR for the month. I know I'm in the middle of a reading vlog, so these two will need to be read. So this is Muse of Nightmares and Kiss the Sky. Here's a little spoiler because I think this reset's coming out before that reading vlog. If you can guess what the theme is for this vlog. And then I need to read Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter, which this is also my book haul for February. This is the only book I bought. Be very proud of me. But it's Heather Fawcett's new book. I think my book club is reading it for March, but I would read it either way because I'm so excited about it. So, and then trying not to be overly optimistic about what I think I'm going to read, because my TBR from last month, that's really what I'm picking through right now, is my TBR from last month. These two books are on my winter TBR. This one's a reread, obviously, as I've mentioned. So I should probably read them in March. And if I don't read them in March, I'm going to end up having to wait till like December. So I'm planning to read Elasto and Emily Wilde. And then the question is, do I want to read a nonfiction or a classic next month, or this month, March? Because every month I want to read one nonfiction or one classic. I'll show you what my options are that I own right now, at least. I have Little Woman, which I'm going to save for December because it's like, I heard there's a Christmas scene and it's wintry, so I think I'm gonna wait for December. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is the only classic that I have right now. And then Irish Myths and Legends and Many Things Under a Rock, which is a book about octopuses. So these two are both nonfiction, but this one's kind of vaguely classic because it's legends and folklore and stuff. Or I could buy a new book. I don't want to buy books though. I'm collecting these editions of classics. They're the Wordsworth, and they're only like $6 to $7, $8 on Amazon, which is not terrible. Though I ordered The Secret Garden in this edition, and it did not come in this edition. Okay, it was mildly horrifying, the edition that it came in, so that was returned, unfortunately. I kind of am feeling many things under a rock just because of my job. We had an octopus for like the first 2 weeks that I worked there, and then the octopus died, which is fine because, you know, we don't know how old the octopus was when we got her, and octopuses don't have a very long lifespan, at least the ones local to where I am, so, but I think it'd be interesting to read, so, and I want to read Remarkably Bright Creatures sometime this month, so I think this is a good one to add to the TBR. Sorry, I'm trying to sort through. I would also love to do a Darkest Minds reread this month, but I don't know if that's in the cards, so I'm not gonna put it on the TBR. Do we think this is a solid TBR? How many books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. It's less than I normally would put on a TBR, but considering I only read like 8 or 9 books this month, this is probably a good choice, especially just, you know, getting used to working and all that. And I don't have that many books here with me. So we'll do these books. I'm excited about all of them. I'm probably going to start Many Things Under a Rock soon, because it'll be nice to have a book. I don't annotate my nonfiction, but I annotate my other books. I know I should annotate nonfiction, but it's like really scary to me. Like it feels like it's a lot of pressure. So it'll be easy to read this like on my breaks and if I go out to the beach, because I work on the beach before or after. So this one I might start soon and just kind of chug along throughout. But yeah, so Many Things Under a Rock, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of the Prairies, which is a reread, so hopefully it'll be quick. It's actually going to be my second time rereading it. Elasto by Darcy Little Badger. I'm excited about this one. My friends have read it and they really liked it, so. Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter, very excited. My hand is not this big. I don't know why I thought I can start stacking all these books. Kiss the Sky, which is the 4th book in the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. Okay, that's as big as my hand gets. And Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, which is the 2nd and final book in the Strange the Dreamer duology. So, there's my TBR, and those will be put on my reading journal soon. So, yay! Hi guys, don't mind me sitting on the floor. My face is really red, and you can probably hear birds in the background. To explain these things, I'm sitting on the floor because my cat, wanted to be pet. He is not very affectionate, except for like once a day. He like wants all the pets in the world. And I was petting him up there, and then he jumped down on the floor and was rubbing against my legs. So I sat on the floor to pet him, and then he left. But I'm still on the floor. But I went to the gym this morning. I was on the treadmill for like 20 minutes. It was like 10 minutes of running, or 5 minutes of walking, 10 minutes of running, 5 minutes of walking. And then I did core and mobility stuff. So that's why my face is red. And the birds are on in the background because the cats need their bird TV. So, but I wanted to talk quickly because one of the goals of this video was mental reset. And honestly, going to the gym this morning was kind of life-changing. I don't know if it was because the gym is in another building in the complex, so I had to walk to the gym, go to the gym, and then walk back from the gym. And I don't know if it was the workout and the endorphins of the workout or just getting outside for literally like a total of 5 minutes this morning that like make me feel so great. But definitely want to start going to the gym again and making sure I'm spending time outside. With that, I'm thinking every day before work, my choices are either going to be sit outside and eat breakfast or get to work early so I can go sit on the beach for like 10 minutes because I work at the beach, which I think I've said like 1,000 times. And I think that'll help me just like give me space. And then maybe if it's nice after work too, just sit for 10 minutes at the beach and just have a little mental decompression time before immediately getting in my car and like being in private and having the space to cry, because you can't cry on the beach. One, because that's embarrassing if people see you. Two, because it's the beach. Why would you cry on the beach? It's the beach. So I think it'll be nice to have like a gap between immediately leaving work and being alone in my car. So we'll try that when I work again. Another thing I want to try doing is journaling again. I have a journal. I have had it since my freshman year of college, and I'm only used like 10 pages of it. And my freshman year of college was what, 4 years ago? So that tells you how often I journal, like my thoughts. Like I do my reading journal and my bullet journal, but like brain journaling, I don't do that too often. So, and then I think, again, I talked about wanting to set up like a morning and a night routine. I think that'll also help me just to have some sort of something to get my head on straight. So, but I'm going to go pull myself off the floor and go shower and get ready for the day. I do have work today, kind of. I work from 1 to 3, but we're not really working. We're touring another facility that does something similar to us, which is very exciting because potentially if they are hiring positions after my seasonal job ends, maybe I can stay. I don't know. And then tomorrow is my interview for my wildlife rescue volunteer thing. So life is looking up. I promise it is. But I'm gonna shower and then I'm gonna try to work on my brain dump for my ins and outs, not my ins and outs, my morning and night routine. And then I'm probably gonna go to work. And then after work, I have some online training for work that I need to do still, which I might do today. I think it's just 2 more modules, so it'll probably take me like 2 hours. So that's where I'm at. I'm feeling pretty good. It's those dang endorphins. They're winning. I also painted my nails last night, but they need another coat. So I need to do that at some point today. But probably not. So now that I've blabbed at you, I've been talking a lot in this video. I'm so sorry, but let's move on to another clip or something. Okay, hi guys. This is going to be the end of the video. I didn't get quite as much done in my reading journal as I would have hoped, but I feel like I'm being really hindered by the fact that I don't have a printer. So that's kind of what's holding me back. But this video is supposed to come out today, so I kind of have to, you know, call it quits. But besides the reading journal, I feel like I was really productive mentally, if that makes any sense. And of course I cleaned my apartment, so that's always a win. And I'm sunburnt now, just a little from yesterday. It's kind of going away, but this arm is, you can see sort of the white line of where this bracelet was. Yeah. So sunburn is always good for a mental reset. I know it's horrible for you, but for some reason it does wonders for my head. But yeah, I am going to go, and yeah, I don't know, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully there'll be another reset that's maybe a little smidgen better than this one. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you somewhere else on the internet. Bye!